The last example that we're going to cover together in notes is example 9 from the book, and it's using volume. So we're going to use our volume formula. So a cylindrical can has a volume of 200 cubic centimeters, which is centimeters cubed. Find the height of the can, and we're given a picture to go off of. So we're given the height is h, that's what we want to find, and then we are given that looks like the radius is 4 because it tells us it's a cylinder. We know that the top is a circle. So we need to know the volume formula. So if you look at your notes that you have all of the volume formulas. And for a cylinder, it is pi r squared times the height. So that's like the area of the base, the area of the circle, times the height for volume. Well, if we want to solve for h, this is the variable we don't know. That means we must know everything else. We must know what the volume is, and we do. It's told to be 200 cubic centimeters. We must know what the radius is, and that gives us in the picture the radius. And then pi is a constant value, so we have our calculator for that. So if we go ahead and substitute in, we know that the volume is 200 equals, we'll keep our pi, our radius is 4, we're going to square that times h. Now we just have a formula that we substituted in, and we have one variable, so we can solve for h. So let's go ahead and do that. We get 200 equals 16 for 4 squared pi times h, and then I can divide both sides by 16 pi to get h by itself. So that'll give us h equals, and then if we take 200 divided by 16 pi, and you can just type that right in your calculator, go ahead, and the book rounds to 2 decimal places. So if you use your pi key on your calculator, but be very careful. This brings up an excellent point for calculator usage that I have not mentioned yet. Whenever you have 2 pieces in your denominator, when you divide it, you have to put it in parentheses. Otherwise, your calculator with order of operations is not going to give you the correct answer. So when you type this in your calculator, you need to type in 200 divided by and then parentheses 16 pi. If you don't do that, it's going to take 200 divided by 16 and then multiply it times pi. And that is not what we want. So please, please, please make sure you always put your denominator in parentheses. That's your best bet, because even if you don't need parentheses, it's not going to hurt anything. So if you type that in your calculator, and please do so just to make sure that you're typing it in correctly, rounding to 2 decimal places, you should get 3.98. And let's make sure we label. Our label here is centimeters. So be careful when you're using your calculator. Check your answers. As long as your answers match the back of the book that tell you, or either the back of the book or the answer key that tells you that you are using it correctly. All right, so here is your assignment, 1.3, page 97, all odds. So 1 through 43, just the odds, and then 55 to 65, those are more applications of all of these formulas, and those are just odds too. So go ahead and check the back of your book. Now, the back of the book is different with the ebook or the textbook. So it's page A15 in the ebook, A21 in the textbook that you can find those answers. And then also, so we jumped ahead to example 9. There are more examples in your textbook that you may need to reference when you are looking at the assignment. So please take a quick look at the examples from the book, because we don't have time to go through all of them, but they are all there for you. And if you have any questions on anything, please ask.